Hello YouTube, today we're gonna make the Japanese, not really a classic, it's a very unknown dish called Oyakodon, and it comes from the words for parent and child because you have chicken and you have eggs. So basically, if you are Southeast Asian, usually when you have chicken and eggs or leftover rice and you don't know what to do with it, you'll make like nasi goreng or fried rice, which is like a waste because like there's other dishes in the world that you can actually make with relatively fewer ingredients, and it's quicker and it's actually more delicious. Because like the thing is like you have most of the people that do most of the people in Malaysia that make nasi goreng do not do it the original Malay way, which is Indonesian, and Indonesian nasi goreng is actually more authentic and original, and it tastes better. So let me introduce you to Malay kitchen once again, because like I've been classically trained, but I've never seen people just chop up chicken like this when you buy it from a grocery store. Basically, yes, sure, they will like chop up the wings, which is randomly connected to a bit of the breast. They will chop out half the breast with like I don't know, a couple of ribs, half the breast with ribs left over, so it's useless to butterfly and make other dishes. And they actually cut up the wing pretty well. I would separate the wing from the drumette. This is a random piece of like breast, and then that's connected to the neck and a couple ribs. And this is the other side of the neck, and this is the breast. So the breast apparently is cut into 4 pieces, and of course everybody here for some reason thinks of chicken as a drumstick, but there are other pieces of chicken that are much better, because I can't find a thigh, which is like great to use. So I'm gonna use as much of let's say the chicken breast, because this recipe is going to soften that down as I can. And I might as well just show you how to properly separate a chicken, which is basically you're cutting through the joints and not like across the bone. And so you can feel the joints, and you can just do it that way, and you have the chicken wing and a drumette, which is served as which any Southern American will knows that is the basis of chicken wings, or unless you're from Buffalo, which is buffalo wings. But the thing is, I think that buffalo wings are not actually from Buffalo, New York. So basically, I'm gonna put most of the chicken away because this meal is just for me, and put it back in the freezer. So what you want to do is, if you have chicken thighs, this is a thigh, and you can see that it's chopped straight through the bone. You want to debone everything and just use the meat and chop it into like bite-sized cubes. Okay, so Oyakodon is basically a Japanese dish, and it's made with few simple ingredients, which is chicken, an egg, parent, child, and onions. And obviously you would have like soy sauce, which I only have a Malaysian style soy sauce, but kikuman is better, and mirin, which is rice wine, which I don't have, which this and water. This is vinegar. Will take the place of that part of the equation, because like I have my opinions on cooking with alcohol, and I am for it. Most of the Muslim community isn't. So basically, and why I'm for it is because of the fact that alcohol actually carries a lot of aromatics and antioxidants, and it's actually good to cook some dishes with alcohol and not cooked. But like, you know, you do you. Actually, I can't use you do you because it's an Adam or Gusia thing, but just try to like figure it out. So what we want to do next is after cutting the chicken, we want to cut an onion into half moons and basically break it apart so it releases its aromatics. And on top of it we have like some spring onion, which we're going to finely chop. And these spring onions are usually like put on top just as a flavoring and garnish. And the history that I want to get into of Oyakodon is that that is a basic rags to riches story, where like the emperor wanted something good to eat, and basically this was some peasant made this simple dish because that's all he had, and it turned out to be like amazing. And for a long time it was the emperor's dish, and you couldn't buy it anywhere or eat it or make it. So we're just gonna cut out the onion into half moons and then finally chop the spring onion, and we're ready to cook. So what we did was we're just gonna mix a little bit of soy sauce just to marinate it a little bit so that it doesn't dry out. But this recipe is very quick, and if you have everything prepared, it's actually done in about 3 minutes. Okay, so basically all you need is a pan. A smaller pan would actually work, but like our small pan doesn't have a handle. This is a perfect size pan for Oyakodon, because basically you want it to simmer in its juices and onion and the mirin and soy sauce before adding the egg. But the thing is, it doesn't have a handle, so I'm not going to touch it. And I'm going to use an IKEA bowl. So basically you can use like a ceramic bowl to hold your rice, but then the thing is I rather use a IKEA bowl because, like, I don't know, I guess I eat a lot. So what we want to do is we want to heat it up to medium low, and make sure it's dry. And we're just gonna put a neutral oil in. So once the oil heats up to medium low, we want to it doesn't really matter, because like the thing is we want to render all the fat out anyway, so you have to start at a low temperature, and it's going to be a fast cook anyways because it's chicken. And since we cut it up, it's not going to not going to take long. So what we want to do is we want to fry the chicken, and then adding the steps. We're gonna put the mirin and the soy sauce in. What I found is like it's a good combination of maybe about 15 to 20% soy sauce, 1 in 5 to like the mirin, or like and if you use like something stronger that has that needs a sour note, basically the vinegar needs to be diluted with a little bit of water, or you can like use water and a lemon. I'm gonna get like jostled by like the Muslim community for using the word alcohol in alcoholic vinegar, but it is just, it's made from alcohol. It's like white vinegar is always made from alcohol. I'm turning up the heat just a little bit, and as you can see, it's already starting to half cook. When it starts to half cook, you want to like crush up you want it oniony, so we're just not gonna do that yet. We're just gonna add like a little bit of soy sauce. You can see the juices coming out of the chicken already. And we're just gonna add like 2-3 teaspoons or tablespoons of soy sauce. And we're gonna just add a little bit of vinegar just to submerge the chicken a little bit. So the next step is we're gonna take 3.5 eggs, basically the egg white out of that last egg, and we're gonna like lightly scramble it because we want to break up the yolk, but we don't want to scramble. So everybody knows how to crack a few eggs. Basically, we're just going to dump the 3 eggs in. And separate the 4th. If you're making a smaller version, using 2 eggs is enough, or 3 eggs is enough, because you want the 3rd egg, the 3rd yolk. That's it. So keep that yolk aside for now, and just take a chopstick or anything that you have in the kitchen and just wrap it around. Wrap it around. That's kind of stupid. But don't scramble it, just kind of mix it around. And so we're just gonna go back. I took it off the fire for a little bit just to mix the eggs. You can mix the eggs before this, obviously. And we're just gonna put in the onions to let them cook. Save some like spring onions. Did I say chives? I am using chives. I lied about the spring onion. To actually garnish the top. So once the chicken and the onions are in, what we want to do, and the onions are getting softer. I used to do this with onion first, but then the onions got way too soft, so you don't have a mixture of textures. What you want to do is you want to lower the heat way down and just let the residual heat cook the egg, sort of like that. So it curdles and you make some sort of what you call it, it's custardy. Once it gets to this point, basically you want to like lower the heat and just cover and let the top cook. But I like mine a little bit runny, because like basically that's the entire point of eggs, right? So like any Asian kitchen, you should have your rice cooker. You should have had your rice cooker going, and and you have hot rice. You can do it the Japanese way, but it doesn't really matter. What I'd like to do is combine a recipe where like I make a divot in the rice, and I pour this that leftover egg yolk. That way when you bite into the rice, you get this splurge of egg yolk, and it'll cook once you put from the residual heat. Once you put the egg chicken mixture over it, and right now it's become like a chicken omelet. So if you had one of those small pans, you could just flip it, slide it over. But since we don't, we're just going to kind of scrape this over, but making sure to cover the entire egg, the entire rice bowl. This is not going to be pretty. So with the leftover garnish, we're just gonna garnish it, and you can add more onion or less onion. You can put garlic if you want to, but I like it oniony and eggy. But obviously that doesn't follow the original recipe, which I've tried, and the original recipe is actually very good. And there you go, like literally about 10 minutes of cooking, and during that time you can prep the entire thing. Oyakodon.